This man, incredibly humble, never expected that in his new life, the gods would offer him any wish he desired. But Kagu only wished for one thing, to farm, and preferably far away from people. So the gods called the farming god, and after getting his approval, the gods granted Kagu an immunity to all illnesses and a set of magical farming tools that could be altered by just his imagination. Kagu worked tirelessly in the fields without ever feeling tired, and no matter how tough the soil or tree roots were, once he used his tools, the earth became soft and ready for planting. But it wasn't a time for celebration. He still hadn't solved the issues of water and food. And, more troubling, this was a different world. He could easily encounter monsters. After some exploration, Kagu came upon an open area in the forest with a tall, sturdy tree that could serve as a good base. The only problem was that there was no river or pond nearby. But this didn't faze Kagu. With his magical tools, he transformed them into a shovel and began digging, and before long, he found water. Once Kagu confirmed the water source, he started clearing the area. He planned to turn it into farmland eventually. Using his magical tools, he transformed them into an axe, and though Kagu had never chopped a tree before, he knew from books that you should chop on one side first and then from the other to prevent the tree from falling onto you. To his surprise, the tools were incredibly powerful, and the tree fell easily. He continued processing the wood, and soon, he had enough materials to build a small hut. With the sun setting, Kagu realized he had no light source. He tried calling for a flashlight or a lighter, but to no avail. After some time, he managed to create a magnifying glass, but by then, the sun had already set. Kagu had no choice but to dig a tree hole and sleep there for the night. He also crafted a set of wooden utensils to use for the next day. The next morning, Kagu used the magnifying glass to start a fire and cleared more trees. For the first time in this new world, Kagu felt hungry. He thought about foraging for food, but to his surprise, food came to him. When he knocked a rabbit on the head, it turned into a pile of soil. Luckily, the rest of the rabbit was still edible. After eating, Kagu needed to relieve himself. Without hesitation, he used his tools to make a toilet, complete with waste storage and cleaning functions. However, he quickly realized the lack of privacy. He quickly added partitions around it. Kagu's toilet ended up more refined than the place he slept in. With his basic needs met, Kagu could now focus on farming. But what he didn't expect was that his farming tools had another amazing ability. By simply thinking of what he wanted to plant, the tools could make seeds sprout even without placing any in the ground. The plants grew at an astonishing speed, making his food supply sustainable. Kagu built a fence around his farm and dug a moat outside to protect it from rabbits. After a few days, his shelter had become quite complete, and his house, though simple, was much better than the tree hole he had been living in. One day, as Kagu was farming, he discovered 2 injured wolves near his shelter. Sensing no malice, he took them in and fed them leftover wild boar meat. Kagu, having grown up with a love for animals, especially dogs, hoped the wolves would stay with him, but he soon realized one of the female wolves was about to give birth. Kagu gave them his hut and even lit a fire at the entrance to keep them warm. He then went to sleep in the tree hole. The next day, the female wolf gave birth to 4 pups. Kagu, mistakenly thinking they were dogs, celebrated by offering them 2 pieces of wild boar meat. The wolves, sensing Kagu's kindness, decided to stay. Kagu built a new room nearby for them and gave them names. The male wolf was Little Black, the female was Little Snow, and the pups were Little Black 1, 2, 3, and 4. From then on, each wolf had its task. Little Black hunted, Little Snow guarded the house, and Kagu simply focused on farming. Though Kagu lived a fulfilling life in this new world, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing.